March Madness may be over. The madness has not stopped, however. The final 4 teams will face off tomorrow to see who will go to the championship.
Shannon Evans is making her own legacy for BYU gymnastics. This All-Americans video game themed routine has led her to top scores at every meet.
I love racing. Racing has always been my favorite thing about swimming.
BYU swimmer Peyton Sorensen is one of the fastest people in the pool here at BYU. His preparation is leading him to not only the NCAA championship, but even Olympic trials. I'm Blake O'Rulian.
And I'm Nathan Idrelson. It's time for Sportsline. Well, Blake and I are filling in some big shoes today for Lindsay and Michaela, but you know who else is filling some big shoes? Jerry Stackhouse, Vanderbilt's new coach.
Yeah, Jerry Stackhouse, great NBA basketball veteran, 18 years in the league, going to fill up that position. I think he'll do a great job.
Hey, I think he will too. And other college basketball news, we are down to the Final Four for March Madness with Texas Tech, Virginia, Auburn, and Michigan State competing for a spot in the national championship game. Reporter Jennifer Mayerly shows us the madness of the fans as the teams arrive in Minneapolis.
Hotels around downtown are full of fanfare. You can tell the Final Four teams have arrived in Minneapolis. Cheers and chants of "Go Green" greeted the Spartans to town. Michigan State faithful made the trek in hopes of seeing their team go all the way.
When you're rooting for Michigan State basketball, you go wherever they are when it comes tournament time. And to get back to the Final Four is really awesome.
Texas Tech was the first to touch down in the Twin Cities. A band along with a path to their first Final Four welcomed the players.
And then when you see it, when you start watching the national shows and you see Texas Tech as one of the 4 names up there, it makes you swell with pride because our fans have been so great and so loyal through the years.
Auburn arrived and made its team hotel Tigers territory. Players will surely hear chants of "War Eagle" as the team also makes its debut in the Final Four. Right on pace, Virginia Cavaliers community hooped and hollered for the only #1 seed to make it to Minneapolis. They've waited for another Final Four appearance for 35 years.
It's like celebrities, right? How cool was that? They're so big, they're so awesome, so humble. Just love them. It was really cool.
The Final Four play tomorrow at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Auburn will face Virginia, and Texas Tech will be going head-to-head with Sparty and Michigan State.
And now it's time for Cougar Chatter. Kelsey, what's the social scoop on the Final Four?
Yeah, so we're T-minus 1 day away from the Final Four, and to say we're hyped is an understatement.
As a part of the next step in your journey, I want to get you guys with the Curry 6.
Steph Curry seems pretty excited about the Final Four. He gave Texas Tech and Auburn a pair of his UA Curry 6s along with some words of encouragement. Curry told the teams that these shoes embodied what these teams had accomplished by overcoming their seeds. And right here is a picture of Texas Tech's Jared Culver with his new pair of kicks. But in other Final Four news, Texas Tech's coach Chris Beard won the AP Coach of the Year. So AP posted this on Twitter yesterday, congratulating Beard, who brought Texas Tech to their first Final Four ever. And if any of your brackets are still alive, I don't know how, but best of luck. Auburn plays Virginia tomorrow at 4:09 Mountain Time, and Texas Tech plays Michigan at 6:49.
Women's soccer drew 1-1 with the Argentine women national team last night at South Field. Argentina, who will play in this year's Women's World Cup, got on the scoreboard first in the 35th minute with a header goal off a free kick. They managed to hold on to the lead until substitute Ashton Brockbank scored in the 52nd minute to level things up. BYU will host Colorado and Dixie State on April 13th.
The Y Awards for BYU Athletics took place Wednesday with over 20 awards being taken home by various athletes, coaches, and teams. Ronnie Jones-Perry from women's volleyball and Yoli Childs from men's basketball took home the Female and Male Athlete of the Year awards. Other notable awards included Erica Burke-Jarvis's from women's cross country as Comeback Player of the Year, having given birth in late December of 2017. TJ Haws of men's basketball earned the Male Crowd Pleaser Award, while gymnastics' Shannon Evans took home the Female Crowd Pleaser Award.
And Shannon definitely earned that Crowd Pleaser Award. This week, Sportsline reporter Lindsay Carroll caught up with the powerhouse Cougar to find out how her performances are stealing hearts across the nation.
Yeah, Shannon Evans doesn't let expectations or pressure keep her from having the time of her life doing the sport she loves. And this season, two of her loves came together for what some might call a truly video game-changing routine.
I enjoy it, like wholeheartedly. I love doing it. I love performing it. I'm in the moment, and I think that's why people like watching it too.
When Shannon Evans first stepped into a gym at just 2 years old, she probably never imagined she would ever gain national recognition in news outlets like Sports Illustrated.
I just remember loving it from the time I started.
While her natural talent certainly played a role in her gymnastics career and success at BYU, Shannon quickly points out that hard work, determination, and a healthy dose of fun made it all possible. Throughout the season, Shannon has collected many awards, including MRGC Gymnast of the Year, Bar Specialist of the Year, and Floor Co-Specialist of the Year, and recently became the first All-American for BYU Gymnastics in 14 years. And how did she do it?
It's been really tough to just get up, fall, fail, fall on your face, fall on your back, fall on your butt. It's just kind of like life slapping you in the face over and over again, but you choosing to get back up instead of like letting it put you on the ground. I've just been able to get knocked down a lot and take what the world has for me and what life has for me and stand up a little bit taller after.
And through learning to believe in herself and having the determination to achieve in gymnastics and in life, Shannon knows anything is possible if you're just willing to put in the work.
Success is in the cards for anyone and for everyone. Like, there's enough success to go around.
And Shannon will join the number 17 ranked Cougars today in Baton Rouge as they compete at the NCAA Regionals against Arkansas, number 11 Minnesota, and in-state rival number 6 University of Utah. Back to you.
Thanks, Lindsay.
As the winter sports seasons come to an end, six-time defending beach champion BYU continues to rush ahead in the race for the coveted West Coast Conference Commissioner's Cup. BYU boasts a 12.5-point lead over second-place St. Mary's, with Gonzaga trailing only half a point behind them for third. BYU women's sports teams are giving us the lead, finishing no lower than second in any sport and taking the WCC title for cross country, soccer, and volleyball. The next update for the Cup standings will come at the end of April after the tennis championships. For most people, watching the Olympics is a thrill, but for one BYU swimmer, being able to reach his goal of swimming in the 2020 Tokyo Games is a new level of excitement. Sportsline reporter Caleb Lemming tells us how he reached his goals and shows us just how fast he is. Caleb, how is preparation going?
Peyton Sorensen is fast, and I found that out in more ways than one.
BYU swimmer and fifth-year senior Peyton Sorensen is no stranger to success in the pool here at BYU. He holds multiple school records, competed at nationals, and won Swimmer of the Year this season. And while he has been successful in his collegiate career, his goals go even higher, attempting to qualify for the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. He has competed in the Olympic trials before, saying his past experience is what helped him realize this goal was realistic.
And that was a big feat for me personally, and it got me really excited.
Sorensen says his favorite part of swimming is clear, and he's pretty good at it.
I love racing. Racing has always been my favorite.
Let's put that to the test. Anyone who watches Olympic swimming understands how fast and athletic they are. But compared to the average swimmer, it may be easier to realize how great he really is.
Let's find out what happens when an average swimmer like myself goes one-on-one in a race with an Olympic trainee.
As you can tell, that didn't turn out too well for me. Sorensen says he already made his trial cut in the 50-meter freestyle, and he is hoping to make another cut at the 100-meter freestyle this summer. After the trial cut, he earns an invite to the Olympic trials, where he will swim to compete for a spot on the national team. He says he has felt love and support from his family and friends, with some of them even planning on going to Tokyo if he qualifies.
I think it'd be awesome to go to Japan and Tokyo and see him next summer in the Olympics.
His goal is simple.
Show people what I have, show people what I can do.
As you saw, when he gets into the pool, Peyton Sorensen can make other swimmers look foolish. He'll attempt his second trial cut in the 100-meter freestyle this summer. Best of luck to Peyton as he chases his goals. Back to you.
Well, respect to you, Caleb. There's no shame in losing to an Olympic athlete. But we'll show you why the Alliance of American Football is shutting down, how players and owners are reacting to the news, and what is next for the league.
After one full week of the MLB under our belts, there are some surprising teams that are thriving while some are already struggling. We'll tell you what teams are off to a hot start.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana.
How does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
The Alliance of American Football suspended operations on Tuesday, only 2 weeks from the end of its inaugural season. Tom Dundon, the owner of the league and primary investor, blindsided players with the announcement after the NFL refused to provide more support for the AAF. Dundon is hoping to revive the AAF, but players and staff are already jumping ship.
The first week of Major League Baseball has come and gone, with drama happening all around.
Bryce Harper, deep right center, way gone. Upper deck, 8-2 Phillies.
Everyone's eyes were on Bryce Harper as he made his return to Washington. He hit a huge home run in the top of the 8th to give the Phillies an 8-2 lead and send the crowd wild. Elsewhere, record signee Mike Trout also his first home run against the Rangers.
The race for the Stanley Cup is heating up and the NHL playoff teams are set.
An empty net for Zach Senershin. He's got his first NHL goal.
Highlights from last night include the Boston Bruins beating the Minnesota Wild 3-0, including a goal from rookie Zachary Senyshyn on his NHL debut. The Colorado Avalanche beat the Winnipeg Jets in overtime off a goal from Eric Johnson. The playoffs begin on April 9th.
Giannis Antetokounmpo went head-to-head with Joel Embiid last night. How these two All-Stars did end their teams in last night's Eastern Conference Championship. Matchup.
The BYU men's and women's track and field teams are both nationally ranked. Find out the amazing number of BYU athletes that are already qualified for regionals.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be earthquake next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
When they test you, stand firm and move only when you hear the seatbelt click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
The Utah Jazz welcome the Kings to Salt Lake tonight as the Jazz look to extend their win streak to 7. The Jazz are coming off the back of a 21-point win over the Suns, and the Kings just beat the Cavs 117-104. The last time the Jazz and the Kings faced each other was back in November. Utah getting the win 133-112. Ricky Rubio leading the scoring with 27 points.
Giannis Antetokounmpo astounded the league with a jaw-dropping performance on Thursday, leading the Bucks to a victory over the 76ers. Antetokounmpo took home 45 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 blocks, and 0 turnovers. This all happened in spite of the fact that Bucks starting point guard Eric Bledsoe was ejected early in the game. Antetokounmpo's performance will go a long way in advocating for his MVP chances.
As a young kid going to BYU games, who knew that Parker Charrington would end up being one of the team managers for the men's basketball team? Sportsline reporter Ben Winters caught up with him. Ben, what is so unique about this job?
Who wouldn't want to rebound for Yoli Childs? Parker Charrington tells us how he is able to serve the team. Charrington is currently a sophomore from Saratoga Springs, Utah. He is studying statistics and loves all kinds of sports. He just finished his first season as a manager for the men's team.
Us as managers, our job is to kind of do everything else that needs to be done. So that means water, equipment, lots and lots of rebounding. We're supposed to help the players get as many shots up as they can, so we're chasing the ball all over the place.
People outside of the men's basketball program might think the managers are not busy and get to enjoy time with the players and coaches. However, that is not always the case. They are full of different responsibilities day in and day out. Each day brings new opportunities to learn and grow.
I remember my first day here, I came in and I started working and it was all going crazy all over the place, right? And I was just trying to keep up. But then like 45 minutes in, I realized this is BYU basketball. I'm right here with like every single player and coach, like people I've watched for years, you know, Dave Rose and Yoli Childs, TJ Haws, like all these amazing people. And it took me a while to realize that. I'm like, wait a sec, yeah, this is really cool.
Charrington realizes each day how special and unique he is able to be in the position he is. Even though it's amazing to be in the presence of these star athletes like Childs and Haws, he is able to recognize that these athletes are normal students like him.
I think that there's a personalized opportunity for everyone here, and I've been able to find mine. It's been a big blessing in my life, and I feel like there's something for all of us here, and it's a good thing to be able to find your own way to serve.
The future for the Cougars is bright. They are excited for the unknown ahead and will find a way to serve. With Dave Rose resigning, Parker and other team managers look forward to the changes on the men's basketball team. Back to you guys.
BYU baseball was riding high this week, but their 8-game winning streak came to an end against rival Utah on Tuesday and was compounded by a loss to San Diego yesterday. The Utah loss was close, with Utah clutching the game in the bottom of the 8th and beating BYU by 2. The San Diego game was another matter, however. BYU lost 5 to a whopping 15, going down early and never recovering. Hopefully BYU comes back stronger tonight, continuing their 3-game away stand against San Diego at 7 p.m. this evening.
Number 11 BYU's men's volleyball lost its final regular season match to Grand Canyon on Thursday in 5 sets. The Cougars got an early lead in the first set, 25-19, but lost the second to the Lopes, 27-25. BYU came in swinging in the third set, keeping the Lopes at bay, but again, the Lopes took over to win the fourth, 25-22. Davide Gardini led the Cougars with a career-high 26 kills, with Gabi Garcia following with 17 kills of his own. Freshman setter Brody Ernest reached a new career high with 57 assists, the most for a Cougar this season.
BYU's track and field program has been one of the most dominant on campus and is continuing in their winning ways as the outdoor season reaches full stride. I had a chance to sit down with Coach Ed Eyestone and talk about this year's squad and how they've achieved something that no other team has.
Yeah, I think our number 4 ranking on the men's side, our top 25 ranking on the women's side is just a testament to a lot of work by the staff. It all starts with recruiting. You got to have, you can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. And so our coaches have done a great job, finding the talent to come in. And then it's just a matter of getting into a program and a culture where they can experience success, they can experience some sort of regimented training. And then the old saying, success breeds success, is certainly true.
BYU's track and field program is the largest on campus with 140 athletes, but every athlete is important as individuals must win events to contribute to the overall team score, and BYU has many contributors.
We have Matt Owens, we have Clayson Shumway in the steeplechase who finished 6th and 7th in the national meet. We have Erica Burke who just set the school record in the 5,000 meters this last week, and at camp, and obviously Andrea Stapleton, who was a point getter for us at the national meet. Elise Romney in the pole vault has been phenomenal for us this season. Guys like Connor Mantz, Connor McMillan, Clayton Young, who are 5,000, 10,000 meter runners for us.
The Cougars have 13 athletes that are ranked nationally, with their marks including Connor Mantz with the top 10,000 meter time in the country this year. With 29 qualifying marks already for the regional meet, the Cougars are racing to the front of the pack.
The BYU softball team earned their second biggest win of the season on Tuesday, winning 13-4 against Southern Utah University. This game halted a 3-game losing streak for the Cougars. Senior Libby Sugg was 4 for 4, including 3 runs, 3 RBIs, and a 2-run home run. Junior Emily Erickson also had a big game, going 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs and a 2-run home run. The ladies face off in their first of 3 games in a 3-game series this afternoon at LMU at 3.
BYU junior Sam Tulis and sophomore Ben Gajardo were named the West Coast Conference Tennis Doubles Team of the Week after leading BYU to a win over San Diego. The dynamic duo is undefeated when playing together, claiming 15 victories up to this point. BYU is 16-3 this season, coming in at second in the conference. BYU hopes to continue their good fortune as they host WCC foe San Francisco on Friday.
Well, good news, Nathan. It's almost time for Top Plays of the Week. Find out what wild NBA play takes the top spot.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Why don't you ever see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're really good at it. Yeah, I get it. Testing. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
Why do you ask that, kiddo?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is once again my favorite time of the week. It's time for Top Plays. Coming in at number 3, check out this sweet behind-the-back pass from Steph Curry to Kevin Durant. After taking JaVale McGee's cookies, Steph tossed the no-looker to Durant for a dunk on the other end of the floor. The Warriors beat the Lakers 108-90.
At number 2, Alejandro Pozuelo brought the sauce in his MLS debut last week, chipping in this beauty over the New York keeper for his second goal of the game. No word yet on whether or not Pozuelo will play on the tour in this next year, but Toronto FC went on to beat New York City FC 4-0.
And rounding out our top plays at number 1, how about this three-quarter court heave from Chris Paul to end the third quarter. After catching the inbounds pass with only 0.7 seconds left on the clock, Paul threw up a moon ball and banked it in. The Rockets beat the Clippers 135-103.
It's time for this week's matchup, guys. So, what do you guys have going on for this for the college basketball Final Four?
For Final Four, I'm going to say, on this show, I said that Auburn would make it to the Final Four, and they did, but now I got to pick against them. Virginia's going to beat them. Chumo Kiki went down. Virginia's a better team. And then I got Texas Tech. I want it to be a boring championship game, all defense, no offense. Texas Tech, Virginia.
As Super Bowl as it gets.
That's exactly right.
I disagree completely. I'm going to take Michigan State, and I'm going to take Auburn. Michigan State is 12-1 this year against top 25 teams, including 2 wins in the tournament. Auburn beat North Carolina, Kansas, and Kentucky. Only one of the schools ever done that in the tournament. It's going to be Michigan State Auburn.
I completely agree. Auburn is going to take it. It's going to be just a total win for them. And I also agree with you, Nathan, that it's going to be Texas Tech, and they're going to have their first win in the Final Four.
There you go.
I see Auburn losing. I see Virginia taking the top spot. And then I also see Michigan State coming in. Magic Johnson's had a tough year. I think he deserves a final spot in the championship. But then I think his dreams are going to get crushed in the championship against Virginia.
Hey, he gets paid $1 million to watch the Lakers lose. That's not that bad.
And to do nothing about it.
That's right. Hey, but in other news in college basketball, Zion Williamson won the AP Player of the Year. You surprised?
Not at all. The most hyped player since LeBron James. Going to be one of the top 25 players in the league as soon as he hits the court.
Lindsay, surprised?
No, not at all. I mean, he's huge with Gonzaga and was a huge part of their team, like basically the part of their team.
You mean the Dukies, right?
I totally meant the
good old Duke.
Oh my gosh.
You already know that he's going to win. All right, let's take a look at reminders. Okay, coming up for BYU gymnastics team will compete in the NCAA Regional against Utah, Minnesota, and Arkansas this afternoon beginning at 1 p.m. Beginning at 1:30, the men's tennis team will host San Francisco in their home finale. And the baseball team will wrap up a series against San Diego this weekend before returning home for a rematch against Utah on Tuesday night.
That's Sportsline for Friday, April 5th.
Thank you for joining us. Have a great day, and go Cougars. Hey.